You told yourself 1 hour. A little fun, a set amount of cash, out the door by 11. And you mean it. It's a little after 9 when you sit down at a machine that seems to like you. The next time you actually think about the time, a fresh drink has appeared at your elbow, your jacket's come off, and it's 2:15. You don't feel drugged. You don't feel robbed. You feel fine. And that missing stretch, the 5 hours you can't quite account for, isn't an accident. It's the product they're selling. Because a casino isn't a building that contains games. It's one machine with one job, keep you in the chair. And one number it closely watches isn't the money on the table. I'll tell you exactly what it is before we're done. Here's the part that should sit with you. Close cousins of these tricks now live in the phone in your hand. In a way, the casino is the honest version. It at least makes you walk through a door first. 5 design choices quietly turn your 1 hour into 5. We're going to take the machine apart, one gear at a time, because the moment you can see a gear, it starts to lose its grip. Gear 1. The room itself. Look up on many classic casino floors and you'll notice something missing. Obvious clocks are hard to find. So are windows to the sky. The 2 cheapest instruments humans use to tell time, quietly pushed out of view. The layout does the same trick with space. Not straight aisles to a bright exit, but soft curving paths and gentle dead ends that always seem to open back onto more machines. You're never quite funneled out. You keep getting folded back in. The light barely changes, the same warm amber at 9 at night and 4 in the morning.
What time is it?
And where drinks are comped, another round is one more reason to stay, and one more thing softening the judgment that would tell you to leave. You've probably heard casinos pump extra oxygen onto the floor to keep you awake. They don't. That one's a myth, and a reckless one, because oxygen feeds fire. The real methods are quieter than any movie trick. This room is built to quietly remove the cues that would say, "It's late, go home." Gear 1 exposed. Before you place a single bet, the space has already started to blur your sense of when. That's the room. Now let's look at the machine. Gear 2. A reward you can never predict. Think about a vending machine. You press, you receive every time. Reliable, boring. You would never sit at one for 5 hours. A slot machine is a vending machine with the certainty torn out. Sometimes the next spin pays, sometimes the 100th. You can never know which, and that not knowing is the whole engine. Behavioral scientists have a name for the pattern, a variable ratio schedule. Among reward schedules, it's one of the hardest patterns to extinguish. Skinner mapped it in the lab decades ago. Reward an animal on a predictable schedule, and it works in bursts, then rests. Switch the reward to unpredictable, and it will press the lever steadily for hours, long after the payouts thin out, because the next one might be now, or now, or now. That's the mechanism under every spin. There's no natural stopping point inside, maybe next time, because next time never arrives and never fully closes the door. The machine doesn't need to hold you down. It just has to never quite finish. Gear 2, exposed. The reason you can't find the moment to stand up is that the game is built never to hand you one. Which brings us to the sneakiest gear of all. Gear 3, the machine celebrates when you lose. This is the one almost nobody notices, and it's the most elegant piece of design on the floor. Modern slots let you bet on many lines at once. Say you put 20 credits across 20 lines. One line hits and pays you back 5. You are down 15 credits, and the machine erupts anyway. Lights, rising music, coins clattering, as if you'd struck gold. Researchers call these losses disguised as wins. In one study, they wired 40 novice players to sensors and watched their bodies react. On these fake wins, where people actually lost money, arousal rose almost as high as on genuine wins and far higher than on plain losses. Your wallet knows it's a loss. Your body, in that seat, gets the little jolt of victory anyway. Do that a few hundred times an hour, and the feeling of winning quietly comes unglued from the fact of the number going down. Then there's the near miss. 2 jackpot symbols land right on the pay line, and the third stops 1 notch short. Not a win. But it doesn't land like a loss either. It lands like almost. In a small brain scanner study, people rated those near misses as less pleasant than an outright miss. And yet the near misses increased their urge to keep playing, engaging parts of the same win-related circuitry as an actual win. The so close borrows machinery meant for real success. And here's the detail that should end the romance of it. The near miss isn't always luck. A machine's virtual reels can be weighted so those so close moments appear more often than an equally weighted physical reel would suggest. Depending on the machine and the rules around it, the heartbreak can be manufactured. Gear 3, exposed. The two feelings that would normally make you quit, losing and failing, have been quietly rewired to feel like winning and almost winning, which is how you end up here. Gear 4, the zone. Stack the first 3 gears, timeless room, unresolved reward, losses that feel like wins, and something happens to the person in the chair. An anthropologist named Natasha Dow-Schul spent years with machine gamblers and the people who design the machines. Player after player described the same state, in almost the same words. A zone where winning the jackpot stops being the point. Time, money, other people, their own body, all of it recedes. There is only the next spin, and the zone isn't just an accident. One important metric in the machine gambling industry is time on device, how long a machine can keep someone playing. So a state that keeps you seated isn't a side effect the design merely puts up with. It's close to what the design is reaching for. You can watch attention narrow in the lab. Sit players at a machine, flash a light off to one side, and time how fast they notice it. Deep in play, especially problem players, they're slower to catch it. The clock, the exit, the person right beside you, all of it dims to make room for the screen. That's where your 5 hours went. You weren't bored and losing track. You were absorbed deliberately by a device tuned to the exact rhythm that blurs an afternoon and makes the hours hard to feel passing. Gear 5, the reason all of this exists in the first place. And it turns out to be pure arithmetic. Nearly every house-banked game on this floor is built so that, on average, you get back a little less than you feed in. That's the house edge. It's small on any single bet, and increasingly reliable across thousands of them, which means the house doesn't need luck, and it doesn't need you to be careless. It needs one thing from you, time. The longer you sit, the more spins you take, and the more your results slide away from anything can happen toward the outcome the math increasingly favors. Short bursts of variance are what sell the dream. Sheer volume is what collects it. So every other gear, the missing clock, the endless pull, the losses that cheer, the zone, none of it is really about winning any single bet off you. It's all in the service of the number this whole machine is built to stretch, how long they can keep you in the chair. And those are the 5 gears. Look at what they build when you put them together. A room with no clock and no obvious invitation to leave. A reward engineered never to resolve. Losses wearing the costume of wins. A zone that quietly blurs the passing hours. And underneath all of it, a patient little equation that only needs you to stay. Let me step off the record for a second. Right at the start, I told you the casino watches one number, and it isn't only the money. Here it is. The people who build these machines call it time on device. Your cash matters, obviously. But your time on the device is the lever that lets the math work. That's what's being quietly sold, in a room designed so you can't feel it leaving. Okay, back on the record. So here's how you keep your 5 hours. And you'll need this, because you won't only meet these gears on a casino floor. Close cousins are in the game on your phone, the app that refreshes, the feed that never ends. Same family of gears, no cover charge. First, put time back in the room. Before you start, decide your leaving time and set an alarm on your phone. Become the clock they took off the wall, and decide your number, what you're willing to lose, before the zone can move that line for you. Second, bring only the cash you'll spend and leave the cards behind. When it's gone, the decision is already made, no willpower required. And third, name the tricks out loud as they happen. A near miss is a loss. A win smaller than your bet is a loss. The cheering is not a payout. And one thing that matters more than any trick on this list. If everything I've described sounds less like a fun night out and more like something you've already tried and failed to stop, that isn't a character flaw. It's the pull these machines are built to create, and some people feel it far harder than others. Many casinos and gambling jurisdictions offer self-exclusion programs, and in a lot of places, a free and confidential gambling helpline is only a search away. Reaching for that help isn't the weak move on the list. It's the strongest one, because the one thing they can't design around is a person who knows what the room is for. The clock was in your pocket the whole time. The exit was always there. It just takes most people too long to remember they're allowed to stand up.
I can just
One honest
stand
question
up.
to carry out with you. Where in your life does just one more already keep you in the chair long after you meant to leave? Find that, and you've found your machine. The one that works only while you're not looking at the clock. If this changed the way that glowing screen looks to you, the one on the floor or the one in your hand, subscribe. It genuinely helps. Next time, the price tag itself. Why $9.99 feels a whole dollar cheaper than $10, and how a single digit quietly rewrites what you're willing to pay. See you there.